The street was quiet that morning, painted with soft golden sunlight and the distant hum of city life. On the corner of Maple Avenue, a little girl named Emily sat in her wheelchair, her small hands gently brushing the fur of her loyal German shepherd, Max. They were inseparable. Max had been by her side since the accident that took her ability to walk. To Emily, he wasn't just a pet, he was her strength, her laughter, her reason to smile again. But that day, a cruel twist of fate would test both the loyalty of a dog and the heart of a man who had forgotten what compassion meant. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of doing good, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Your support helps us bring more real, emotional stories to life. It happened in an instant. A loud roar of motorcycle engines broke through the calm. A group of bikers rolled down the narrow street. Big men in black leather jackets, tattoos crawling up their arms, laughter echoing as they parked near a small cafe. Among them was Rick, their leader. Rough, bold, and used to getting attention wherever he went. He wasn't a bad man at heart, but years of living hard had made him careless, impulsive, and often cruel without realizing it. As Rick and his friends joked around, his eyes caught sight of Emily and Max across the street. The little girl's wheelchair and the dog's alert posture seemed to amuse him. "Look at that tough dog guarding his princess," he laughed to his friends. His voice carried mockery, not malice, but to those watching it was enough to make them uncomfortable. He decided to play what he thought would be a harmless prank. He strutted toward them, boots heavy on the pavement, grin wide and careless. Emily saw him coming and instinctively pulled Max's leash closer. But before she could react, Rick swung his boot lightly toward Max's side. Not hard, not intending real harm, but enough to make the big shepherd bark in alarm. That single. Action, however, changed everything. Max didn't move back. He stood his ground, muscles tightening, eyes blazing with protective fury. His deep growl rolled through the air like thunder. The street fell silent. Rick froze, realizing too late that the dog wasn't just a pet. Max lunged forward, not to attack, but to pin Rick down with a forceful warning bark that sent chills through everyone watching. Within seconds, two nearby men in plain clothes rushed toward the scene, shouting something Rick didn't understand until it was too late. "Stand down, officer!" one of them commanded. Rick blinked in confusion as Max backed off on command, obedient yet alert. The two men flashed badges. They were police, and Max wasn't just any dog. He was a trained K-9 officer, off-duty but still sworn to protect. The girl, Emily, wasn't just sitting there by chance. She was the daughter of one of those officers, and Max was her guardian assigned to stay by her side after the accident that had changed their lives. Rick's face went pale. The laughter from his biker friends died instantly. The weight of what he'd done, even as a joke, crashed over him like a wave of shame. He tried to speak, but the words caught in his throat. He had scared a little girl and disrespected a dog that had served and saved lives. For the first time in years, he felt something unfamiliar: regret. The officers didn't arrest him. They made him sit down, calm his nerves, and face what he had done. Emily, trembling but brave, looked at Rick with eyes full of confusion, not hatred. That broke him even more. She could have screamed or cried, but instead she softly petted Max's head and whispered, "It's okay, Max. He didn't know." Those words hit Rick harder than any punishment could. Over the next few days, Rick couldn't shake off the image of that little girl and her dog. He didn't sleep well, didn't laugh with his crew. Something inside him shifted. He realized that behind all his tattoos, noise, and pride, he had lost touch with simple humanity. He decided to find Emily and her father again, not to make excuses, but to make things right. When he finally did, Emily's father met him with caution. Rick apologized, sincerely, humbly, to both the man and the girl. He even brought a basket of treats for Max. The officer listened silently, then nodded. "Actions speak louder than words," he said. And so Rick offered to help at the local animal shelter where Max had once trained. It wasn't easy, cleaning cages, feeding strays, learning to care, but slowly, day by day, it started to heal something in him. Months passed, and Rick became a familiar face at the shelter. His biker friends mocked him at first, but eventually, curiosity brought a few of them along too. They began helping out, fixing broken fences, donating food, even riding in charity events for disabled kids and rescue dogs. The same group once feared for their rough looks became a symbol of unexpected kindness in their town. Emily often visited the shelter with Max. Every time she did, Rick would kneel beside the dog, gently scratch behind his ears and whisper, "Thanks for teaching me what it means to protect, not hurt." Max would wag his tail and Emily would smile, that same smile that had once been dimmed by pain now shining brighter than ever. Rick didn't just change his behavior, he changed his purpose. He started a campaign with the police department, encouraging respect and empathy for service animals. He shared his story openly, admitting his mistake and how it changed him. "Sometimes," he said during a local event, "life doesn't punish us with anger. It teaches us through compassion." That moment, the rough biker standing beside a little girl in a wheelchair and her police dog, became a symbol of redemption for the whole community. It reminded everyone that even the hardest hearts can learn to feel again when faced with innocence and forgiveness. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with others, and subscribe for more real, emotional stories that remind us how love and change are always possible. Special request: in the comments, write "Kindness changes everything" if you believe that one good act can transform even the darkest hearts. By the end of that year, local newspaper featured Rick, Emily, and Max with the headline, "The Biker Who Learned to Love." And somewhere inside, Rick knew that his real journey didn't begin on the road. It began the day he met a little girl in a wheelchair and the brave dog who taught him that strength isn't about power, it's about heart.